Hi everyone, it's me, Carnivore Ron, and today I have a little bit of a different topic. This is obviously being pre-recorded. By the time you see this, I will have hopefully been through my cataract surgery for my right eye. Left eye is scheduled for September. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. I haven't gone under the knife, so to speak. I haven't had any kind of surgery since I was 13 years old was the last surgery I had. Not many weeks away. I'm going to be 71. I'm just going to take off my glasses for this. It's reflecting the light from my monitor here. I know before I did a video called Act of Kindness, where a friend of mine sent me an article. It was very flawed science about how meat causes cancer and is really dangerous, causes heart attacks and other things, and it's just really it was a survey-based study, which is really the most unreliable forms of science, if you can call it science even. It's the most unreliable form of data that you could possibly have in any kind of a study. I like the way some people point out that there's no controlled study whether the carnivore diet works or not. Well, there's no controlled study that it doesn't work either. And there's no controlled study that tells you that it causes heart attacks. It's all survey information, and which is asking people to remember what they ate. How many of you remember how many hamburgers you had last year? And how many of them were with or without buns? A lot of you can say 100% are with buns. Well, okay, so you had a hamburger and you had it with a bun. So let's blame the meat for what the bun did. The reason that I'm making this video, the thought that I had is I had a comment from a stranger, and basically they went over. You could tell it was copied and pasted, and it went over all these points of why a meat-based or carnivore diet is bad for you, all the bad things that it does, which are actually untrue. But it made me start thinking, I think to be a carnivore or someone that does this lifestyle, you have to be someone that does your own thinking. This person obviously, and I've seen this in other areas as well, including politics, especially politics, where people will repost somebody else's post about something. And I think, but getting back to the carnivore diet, I think there's just a lot of people out there that don't think for themselves. And I think to be a carnivore, you have to be someone who thinks for yourself. You have to realize that calories in and calories out don't work. So it's obvious that the model that a lot of people that are advising you on how the human body works is incorrect. It's an incorrect model. And we have now studies going back 20 years or more now, since the early 2000s, that have shown that model is incorrect and that weight loss is really caused by insulin levels. Now, again, I have to say here, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientific researcher. I don't have any of those credentials. I'm a retired businessman. I have a degree in computer technology and also in humanities. And so what I'm trying to say here is that are you thinking for yourself? Anyway, again, this is not medical advice. This is not dietary advice. In these videos, I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm giving you my opinion. Okay? That's it. You can agree or disagree all you want. That's fine. But my opinion is my opinion. And like so many people that are anti-carnivore diet, you're probably not going to change their opinion. And I'm not going to try. I hope people look at the actual, the new science and the model of how the body works. It's my understanding that insulin levels are what control your weight. Hormones control your appetite. There's so many hormones in the human body. I don't know them all even, but I know about insulin resistance and about issues with being pre-diabetic and diabetic and inflammation. That's actually, insulin actually, from my understanding, is inflammatory, and inflammation hurts with weight loss. At least that's my understanding of it. Again, don't quote me. Look it up yourself. I keep telling people you got to do your own research. But I think the more important is you got to start thinking for yourself. Don't just repeat everything you heard. When people leave comments about, this is going to give you a heart attack, or this is, they're just not up to date on what the science says. And they're quoting flawed scientific studies that were done and paid for a lot of times by people that had economic interest in keeping you unhealthy. There's a saying, and I'll say this, and I'll go out on a limb and say this, in the medical profession and in the pharmaceutical industry, a patient that is cured is a customer that is lost. Okay, and the last thing any business wants to do, no matter what profession it's in, is to lose a customer. And so having a steady income stream is what businesses are all about. I know I was a businessman. I hope that those of you out here will consider whether you're thinking for yourself or not. And I admit it. I have times where I'm really into confirmation bias as well. I believe something and then I seek out the information that backs it up. The right way to do it is to seek out the information that disagrees with you. But really, the information that I look for most of the time is something that will help me with my weight loss. And will, even more importantly, help me with my health. And look this stuff up yourself. This is not me saying this. I'm like I'm telling people, I'm repeating information that I found. What you believe is up to you. And what you think is up to you. And I think whether you follow your doctor's advice or not, that's up to you. I don't know. I look at doctors as being human beings. When my wife fell and cracked her spine, I saw some very professional, caring people that did their job and did it very well. And those type of situations, I think doctors and medical professionals are the greatest. When it comes to metabolic issues, weight loss, they're not trained. They're not trained in how metabolism works. They're trained into diagnosing and prescribing. And nutritionists, they're trained in studies that are actually 50, 60, 70 years old, and quite frankly, in many times, those studies were paid for, and the scientists, actually they have proof of that the scientists were bribed to write articles saying that animal fat is bad and sugar is okay, which is just the opposite of the truth. And again, that's not me saying that. That's the scientists who study this stuff are saying. In this video, I'm going to give you a list of doctors that I have followed and have listened to their research. Again, because I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm a guy who was fat almost all my entire life. I was morbidly obese. I weighed my top weight 472 pounds. I hovered around 440 most of my life. I tried counting calories and struggled and suffered through doing that. Although I was pretty successful at keeping my calorie count low, I was not very successful at losing weight. It wasn't until I found out that insulin is the key. Without insulin, you cannot put on fat. With insulin, you will put on fat. And the amount of food that you eat has relatively little to do with that. That's what I found out. That's what my research taught me. So anyway, this video is getting long now. I know I'm going to edit some of this out. You guys just have a great day. Have the best day that you can. Today won't come again. I wish for all of you to have happiness today, tomorrow, and if possible, the rest of your life. You take care of yourself. Do your own research. Do your own studying. And please try to make up your own mind and don't just repeat what other people are telling you. This is Carnivore Ron, and I'm signing out. You have a great day. Please try to have a great day if you can.